Yama, it's Jack. Let's take a look at what's in the news. Many schools around the world have already closed because of COVID-19. So you might be wondering, why are schools in Australia still open? Well, as Leela found out, it's a topic that's definitely up for debate.
Welcome to debate! Today's topic, should schools in Australia stay open during this COVID-19 outbreak? Let's check out the arguments for! Sorry, that was written in capitals.
Schools should stay open so parents don't have to leave work to look after them, because keeping people at work is good for the Australian economy. Schools should stay open because what else will kids do? They're more likely to spend time in public spaces like shopping centres or cinemas where it's easier to spread germs. Schools should stay open because while there's a lot of kids, they're not in big groups, they're in classrooms. Some are already taking precautions with staggered lunch breaks, no school assemblies, and sick kids being told to stay home.
Alright, let's hear the arguments against!
Schools should close because it's the best way to stop COVID-19 from spreading. Kids can stay home when they're not surrounded by hundreds of other potentially sick kids. Schools should close because study doesn't have to stop. Students can still learn online. And finally, it's probably going to happen eventually. Why wait?
So, who will win? This show actually has no control over that. We'll just have to wait and see what the authorities say over time. Bye! Stop writing things in capitals on the teleprompter.
The NBL has cancelled the rest of its Grand Final series. The Perth Wildcats have a 2-1 series lead against the Sydney Kings, but the league says because it's worried about COVID-19, it'll instead ditch the rest of the games and make a decision about the winner. And famous actor, bodybuilder and Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, has a very serious message for older people about staying safe from the coronavirus. And somehow his miniature horse Whiskey and pet donkey Lulu are involved.
We don't go out, we don't go to restaurants, we don't do anything like that anymore here. We just eat.
Today is the day millions of people around the world don their favourite green outfits, march in parades and celebrate all things Irish. It's St. Patrick's Day. But where did it all begin?
Well, it all started with this guy, St. Patrick. Except that wasn't his name. It was actually this. When he was 16, Mywin was kidnapped and brought to Ireland as a slave, but later escaped back to Britain. Here he converted to Christianity and studied to become a priest, where he picked up a handy new name. With a new religion and a nifty name, Patrick returned to Ireland as a missionary. A lot of people reckon St. Patrick drove all the snakes out of Ireland, but it turns out there were no snakes in the first place. Pretty easy job. After he died, Patrick was made a saint, and March 17th became, well, St. Patrick's Day. These days, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated all over the world, as Irish people have emigrated, well, all over the world. In the USA, they have big parades, rivers run green, and people celebrate Irish culture. Back here in Australia, they also have parades. Who's that handsome devil? This year, the celebrations are a bit lonely because of COVID-19. But however you celebrate it, I hope you have the luck of the Irish.
And finally, check out these tales of people and animals on the outside looking in, where it's actually quite nice to be. Now, normally it's the penguins living at the aquarium, not visiting it. But these lucky little tourists got to go on a field trip to look at the other animals at this aquarium in the US, which has been temporarily closed because of COVID reasons. Annie and Edward seemed quite intrigued, but maybe they're just thinking, is that what I look like? Quarantining rules in Lebanon mean no birthday party for 25-year-old Jess. But luckily, her neighbours celebrated the occasion from window to window. Pity they couldn't reach the cake. And forget Formula One, this is one competition COVID-19 can't touch. The British Banger Race. It's when UK racing fans bring out their dingiest, dirtiest, run-down vehicles and hit the tracks to kick off the start of the much fancier car racing season. And surrounded by dodgy cars and dirt, no one's particularly worried about the coronavirus. Well, from the outside looking in anyway.
This is an outdoor sport, it's not a massive event, people aren't in close contact and there's no need for it to be cancelled.
Well, that's the news for today, but check back tomorrow for more.